two people being competitive, two people that really want to win. And, I think a lot of those things happen all the time, and I know there's a camera on me, and that's how it's going to be. But there's a lot of people out there in the media or on TV that they think they know a lot of things, and they're just blatantly wrong about.
Body language tells the story long before the words leave their mouths. That raw sideline tension we just witnessed between Caitlin Clark and head coach Stephanie White isn't just a simple, heat-of-the-moment exchange. It represents the biggest public fracture the Indiana Fever front office has had to manage since Clark entered the league. While the official narrative claims this is just standard competitive fire, the timing and execution of their public damage control suggest a completely different reality behind closed doors.
Nobody in that locker room, in our locker room, or staff, or our coaching staff thought twice about it. It's just another example of what everybody, all of you, want to blow up and make something that...
Notice how quickly the defense mechanism kicks in during that press conference. Caitlin Clark immediately turns the blame outward, targeting the media for blowing up a routine huddle interaction. But this strategy acts as a convenient shield. By framing the entire dispute as an engineered media invention, the organization completely avoids addressing the actual issues playing out on the basketball floor. Remember this detail about shifting focus, because in less than 3 minutes, we are going to see exactly how the front office weaponizes this narrative to hide serious coaching mismanagement.
That moment is I was challenging a player. It's coaching. It's what it is. I don't often think it becomes an issue if you're watching it in.
That is the official counter-narrative delivered directly by Stephanie White. By invoking men's sports comparisons, White is attempting to pivot the conversation into a broader debate about gender double standards in media coverage. It is a highly calculated PR move designed to make critics look twice before questioning her coaching methods. But what White intentionally omits is the actual substance of the criticism. This isn't about a coach showing passion on the sideline, it is about a series of baffling on-court decisions that directly compromise the team's performance.
I think that the narrative of people trying to make it something that it's not is just, taking sensationalism to try to get some clicks and all the other stuff. She wants to be coached. I want her to help me be a better coach. We're both competitive.
The corporate synergy here is impossible to ignore. Both player and coach are suddenly using identical language, repeating phrases like writing for each other and chalking up the tension to shared stubbornness. It reads like a script handed down directly from general manager Kelly Krokop and team owner Herb Simon. And this is where it gets personal. While White publicly claims she wants to help Clark succeed, her actual rotations paint a completely different picture. The front office is working overtime behind the scenes to steer the public narrative away from the structural collapse of the product on the floor.
Media aspect of this. Okay. So nobody in the WNBA media asked Stephanie White about the 21 lineups and 11 players used in the first quarter. Nope, nobody asked about that. Because this little spat was their cover. This spat shielded them from actual questions about the product.
The strategy worked perfectly. By allowing the media to obsess over a screaming match, Stephanie White successfully insulated herself from answering why she deployed 21 different lineups and utilized 11 players in just the opening quarter. Not a single beat reporter pressed her on why she benched her star backcourt just 3.5 minutes into the game, a move virtually unprecedented for franchise cornerstones across the league. The media took the bait, hook, line, and sinker, choosing high-energy drama over tactical critique. Now, here is the part everyone has been missing. This goes far deeper than a single game substitution pattern.
Downside to fighting. Stephanie White pulled her after she accounted for all 8 Fever points 3 minutes 30 seconds into the game. Then Portland runs the Fever out the gym. How does a coach that takes you out within 3 minutes of the game have your back? She's basically saying, leave Steph alone, and if I play like ass, that's on me.
That timeline is the smoking gun. How does a coach claim to have a player's back when she pulls her from the floor immediately after that player accounts for all 8 of the team's opening points? Clark is taking full accountability, publicly claiming that if she plays poorly, it is on her. Yet, White has consistently refused to take ownership of her own erratic rotations. Instead of optimization, we are seeing a systematic isolation of the league's most popular player, leaving her core fan base feeling completely alienated by the very franchise that drafted her.
Here we go. They have their little argument on Saturday. Sunday, the Indiana Fever are calling Yahoo Sports and saying, hey, let's get Lexi Hull up there. Sunday, they're reaching Lisa Salter, Stephanie White's wife, reaching out to her friends at ESPN and say, hey, we're facing a little bit of heat. We need you guys to run cover for us. ESPN, Pat McAfee, run cover. They send out word. Shannon Sharp runs cover. They send out word. Cheryl Miller.
The timeline of the media rollout exposes the full scope of the front office cover-up. The argument takes place on Saturday. By Sunday morning, the Indiana Fever organization is working the phones, contacting major national platforms to run immediate damage control. From ESPN analysts to prominent daily sports talk shows hosted by Pat McAfee and Shannon Sharp, a unified message was deployed simultaneously across the sports media landscape. This wasn't an organic wave of defense, it was a coordinated media blitz designed to flood the airwaves and drown out the tactical criticisms being raised by analytical fans online.
She's going to need to step up for herself, I agree. At some point she's going to need to step up for herself because CDS is right. Fans are going to stop. If you don't care, if you're cool getting pushed around, you're cool scoring 7 points, you're cool scoring 6 points, well, people didn't come to watch you score 7 points, nor 6 points. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Like the video, hype the video, and subscribe to the channel.
Here is what makes this entire situation highly precarious for the future of the Indiana Fever franchise. The front office has successfully built a temporary fortress around Stephanie White using coordinated public statements, national media favors, and sports psychologists to reinforce the company line. But while they have managed to quiet the mainstream press, they are actively losing the war with their own consumers. Basketball fans did not buy tickets or tune in by the millions to watch a generational talent get pulled, music, 3 minutes into a quarter or get restricted to single-digit scoring outputs while trapped in a dysfunctional system. The risk here isn't just a locker room divide, it is a total commercial disconnect. When Clark coordinates her answers with a coach who actively compromises her rhythm on the floor, she is inadvertently trashing the very fans who have spent the last 3 years defending, music, her rise. If the product on the floor continues to look this disjointed, and the coaching staff continues to favor rigid, slow-paced systems over the fast-break offense that made Clark historic, those fans will eventually walk away. You cannot gaslight an audience that can clearly see the regression happening on their television screens every single week. This brings us to a critical crossroads for the organization. Stephanie White can continue using gender dynamics and sensationalism as a convenient shield to avoid hard tactical questions, but shields eventually break under the weight of mounting losses. At some point, the internal basketball operations must face reality. The current system is failing to maximize the most valuable asset the franchise has ever owned, and no amount of PR coaching or synchronized interview answers can alter that data. So the question becomes completely unavoidable for anyone tracking this saga. Who is actually in the wrong here? Is it a head coach failing to adapt her rigid system to a unique superstar talent, or is it an entitled fan base overreacting to standard hard-nosed basketball coaching? You cannot walk the middle ground on this one. Mark my words, this tension isn't resolved, and the next lineup shift will tell us everything we need to know about who really holds the power in Indiana. Pick a side and let me know exactly what you think in the comments below. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, music, and I will see you on the next breakdown. Take it easy.